Joe on the go here, and today I want to go into the subject with you of chromosome disorders and CGH testing. Now, if you're new to this channel, and I did see that I got a few new subscribers, and you're like, oh no, I thought I was watching a channel where it was a person that went out and took videos at different places and things, and not this sitting down talking thing. Well, I have a few more videos of just some information that I want to get out there as I'm just starting my channel. And then after that, then those are going to be done. um, right now, it's every other video. One video I kind of just give some information that I know a little bit about, and then the other video we go out and do something, go somewhere, go on an adventure somewhere. So I think I have maybe after this video, I think I have like three more videos of a certain subject that I want to go over, just kind of cover. And then, like I said, after that, we're just going to be going out and doing stuff, and the videos where I sit down and talk about stuff, like that's just kind of every other. Right now, I'm just covering a subject, and then I go out and I do a video, and then you know every other right now. They're almost done. So if you just subscribe to my channel, then don't click away. Don't click away. Still stay and see what other places we're going to go to and other adventures we're going to go on. I just kind of want to share some of this information for the people out there that maybe have a disabled loved one and are dealing with that kind of thing. So they know there's some resources out there of some help that they might be able to get, and some ways that they can get out and enjoy their life with their loved one that has special needs. So let's go into the subject of chromosome disorders and CGH testing. And, this is kind of good information for everybody to know. I feel, really, whether you have a loved one that has special needs or not, this is just, I think, some really good information that I don't know if a lot of people know about. So I just wanted to share kind of what that is and what our experience has been with that. So, um, pretty early on, our son was experiencing some, um, wasn't meeting certain milestones, and so he was put into some therapies, and then he regressed a little bit. So we had taken him to see his pediatrician, and she had recommended something I had never heard of, which was CGH testing. And I believe the long name for that's like, what's a comparative hypergenomic, um, no, what is it? I can't even think of the name now. It's like, I'd have to look it up. But CGH testing for sure. A doctor would know what you are talking about. But our doctor had recommended this CGH testing to us. And so what that was, it was looks at all of someone's chromosomal makeup to see if there's any abnormalities, to see if that might be something that is um, hindering their health or their developmental progress. And so we had went and seen this doctor, and he took a look at our son. They did some testing, and while I felt this is really kind of good for everybody to know a little bit about, is that you know people can have chromosome disorders without even realizing it, and it can cause other health issues down the line for them, for other family members, and so to kind of know about this, and this is something that's out there that can maybe give you a further insight into yourself or um, someone that that something that they could look into, you yourself could look into and see if can find some link to some type of health issue that you yourself or someone else may be experiencing. So it looks at your whole chromosomal makeup. And so in our son's case, He was diagnosed with a chromosome disorder. It's a blood test, and he was missing a section of the short arm of his X chromosome. So he was missing 9 genes off of that chromosome. So they had said that, where that could have possibly came from, it could be hereditary. As far as the X chromosome goes, little biology lesson. So um, you get the X chromosome from your mother, you get the Y chromosome from your father. So if it's the X chromosome, it's from, and you're a boy, so it's from would potentially have a link to the mother's side. If it would be the Y chromosome, it could have a link to the father's father's side. So they said that it could have originated in him, or that it could have been genetic. It could have came from somewhere that I could possibly have some type of deletion, which it was more thought that it was probably the case that it had originated in him because he had an older brother that was not exhibiting any type of delay or issues of that nature. So, um, but with that, what had came back with the whole chromosome disorder of the 9 genes missing on the X chromosome was a pretty extensive health report on similar cases. They could not find an exact case, but similar cases that some certain health issues that he may experience, that may arise, or that he may already have at that point in time, that could be linked to this chromosome disorder. So we had a whole list. We had things we had to have checked out. There was heart problems, heart defects, absence of a kidney or kidney problems. There was uh, possible problems with going through puberty and, that type of thing, hearing loss, possibility for seizures, um, delayed speech. There was a very big possibility for autism. That was a very interesting one because they had said where it comes to autism, that he, in a lot of cases, a lot of similar cases, they had found a link with a specific area of the genetic makeup that if it wasn't, in certain people, if it wasn't, the genetic information was misplaced a little bit or kind of out of order how the body reads it, then it had been shown to have, those people had been shown to have autism in a lot of those cases. And so they said with him, we're just not really sure because that genetic information is not there. It's just missing. We're not really sure how that's going to affect him. So he could have autistic tendencies, or he could have autism. So, we really chose to look at the blessings um, that that we look at as a blessing in a way. I guess I could say. How am I not wording this quite right? But we had. I'll explain. We had um, a lot of these tests done. So we had his heart checked out. We had him checked for seizures. We had his hearing checked. We had all these things checked out that they said could be a possible health concern. And so the only thing that really came back was that autism, speech delay, and that he later we found out did have issues with going through puberty on his own. He does have to take testosterone every couple of weeks, and so but all the other stuff, all the other health stuff, the heart and the kidneys and the hearing and no seizure activity and all that kind of thing. So the fact that he was otherwise very healthy, we felt very blessed in that way, because while we were going to have to deal with autism and some speech issues and a few things that we were going to have to deal with. Um, his health was overall very good for all these things that could have potentially went wrong because of this chromosome disorder. And so, at this time, they're also telling me that if he would have been a girl, that he might have been less affected by this because back to biology lesson. But if you are a girl, you have two X chromosomes. You get an X from dad, and you get a X from mom. So a lot of times in a female, they said one X is active and the other one is kind of deactivated. Unless there's something wrong with one X chromosome, sometimes females it will pull from the other X chromosome. So that was the way it was explained to me, that if he had been a girl, that he may have been less affected by this, because there being another X chromosome. So in boys, we just have the X and the Y, nothing to pull from. But this was still very interesting to me because my daughter was having a lot of issues, and I do talk to my kids before I put any type of these videos out here about what their feelings are about me saying anything about this kind of stuff, because I don't want to say anything they don't want me to say. And so I'm always very encouraged to, yes, share it. People need to know about this stuff. So this is all okay with them. But I was very concerned because she was having a lot of educational delays. My daughter was, and she was just about 3 years older than her brother that had just been diagnosed for the chromosome disorder. So I was like, well, maybe at this time, if there is some type of genetic link, maybe we should have her tested. So we did. And kind of what we had found out there was the complete opposite. Um, our daughter has something called trisomy X syndrome, which she has 3 copies of an X chromosome. And when I'd asked if that was hereditary or how that happens, they just kind of said, well, it's not hereditary, and it is called a random event of non-justification, where when the cells, things are dividing up, basically some stick together and develop a whole extra copy of an X chromosome. So that can cause some educational difficulties. So that was, that was part of the reason that she was struggling. So we did find that out, and it could cause some other emotional issues and things like that as well. So it was very good to know, for her and also for our son. It was very good to know about this because, now going forward, although, health wise, we haven't really had a whole lot to deal with with our son. He's been pretty healthy. It gave us further information as far as, hey, it's not just autism. There's other stuff that we need to watch out for. For instance, whenever he became of the age that he was supposed to go through puberty and that kind of thing, and that wasn't happening, then we wouldn't have known we needed to look out for this. So, I just think it's very important to share this information, you know, because we never know what's going on with our genetics. Our genetics are a very complex situation and sometimes can cause further health things that we need to be aware of. And so I just wanted to share this information with you in hopes that it helps somebody out there that maybe is struggling to find some answers. Maybe to talk to your doctor about CGH testing and see if that can maybe narrow down some of the confusion when you're trying to figure out kind of what's going on. And also too, if you know a little bit more about what is going on with your health or um, and any other areas, then that can kind of help you moving forward to know what next steps you should take, what further help is out there. I mean, you can't really go get help for things if you don't have the full picture and know 100% what's going on. And so, in order to be able to get out there and enjoy our lives together, we gotta know what's going on and be able to take care of ourselves and deal with those issues first, so we can get out there and enjoy life. And I hope you're taking care of yourself, take care of your health, and find an adventure today. Get out there, enjoy life, stay healthy, and until you go with me next time, peace and love.